Great player, good person as well. She's been great, and I'm really excited for her at this next stage in her career.
Caitlin Clark becomes the all-time leading scorer in major college basketball.
Another forever moment for this transformational superstar.
JuJu Watkins has sparked a buzz in the basketball world with her recent comments about Caitlin Clark. The 19-year-old college star showed remarkable class, respect, and leadership, putting some WNBA veterans to shame. Her words have resonated deeply, stirring conversations and challenging the league to reflect on its culture. Meanwhile, Angel Reese isn't staying quiet, reportedly unhappy with Watkins' defense of Clark. This shakeup has left fans and players alike reeling, proving that Watkins is wise beyond her years and unafraid to speak her mind.
After spending the last 12 or so months complaining about being sexualized, after spending the last 12 months complaining about the dirty messages that she receives from lonely men on social media, Angel Reese, she was given the cover of the winter edition of Vogue magazine.
The WNBA is turning into a full-blown drama series, and Angel Reese seems determined to be the leading star. Take, for instance, the buzz around her Vogue cover. It's being hyped as if she single-handedly revolutionized the game.
Angel Reese, who the media wants you to believe is the face of the WNBA, when at minimum, she is the co-star in this box office drama.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark just earned the prestigious title of Times Athlete of the Year, one of the highest honors in sports, and the league's response was practically a shrug. It's almost laughable. Clark's accomplishments are monumental, yet the WNBA seems fixated on the wrong star moment.
What would you say was the greater accomplishment? The cover of Vogue magazine or Athlete of the Year? Without a doubt, Athlete of the Year is the far greater honor. So I am incredibly confused with the difference in response to Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark.
Let's be real. Landing a Vogue cover is a pop culture milestone, but it's far from the peak of achievement. In contrast, Times Athlete of the Year is a global honor, placing Caitlin Clark alongside legends like LeBron James and Simone Biles, athletes who have truly redefined their sports. The difference is staggering. One recognition highlights lasting greatness, while the other is a fleeting moment in the spotlight. Reese's Vogue cover might be stylish, but Clark's award cements her place in history.
You guys tell me, what would be the bigger accomplishment? Landing the cover of Vogue or being named Athlete of the Year by Time magazine? Not Female Athlete of the Year. I'm talking about Athlete of the Year, which means if you won the award, you were competing with legends like Patrick Mahomes, LeBron James, Steph Curry.
Here's the twist. The WNBA seems to have its priorities all wrong. They're hyping Angel Reese's Vogue cover as if it's a game-changing moment for the league, while Caitlin Clark's groundbreaking accomplishments are barely acknowledged. It's almost cringe-worthy to see how they're shaping the narrative. And let's just say, JuJu Watkins isn't here for it.
All kidding aside, I am happy for Angel Reese. Judging by some of her comments, Angel Reese dreams of being a fashion icon, which makes sense. I mean, seriously. What child grows up with dreams of becoming a dump diver in the WNBA? What child grows up with dreams of playing pretend basketball in empty high school?
What we're seeing isn't just a contrast in accomplishments. It's a spotlight on how the WNBA chooses to direct its focus. Caitlin Clark is revolutionizing the game, taking women's basketball to new heights and proving it deserves a global stage. Meanwhile, Angel Reese seems more concerned with soaking up personal accolades. The disparity couldn't be starker. When it comes to Clark's awe-inspiring achievements, the WNBA's reaction has been silence, almost as if they're afraid of what she represents. She's not just another player. Clark is a once-in-a-generation talent, a game-changer rewriting the rules of women's basketball. Yet, instead of celebrating her as the star she is, the league acts like she's invisible. It's ridiculous.
Although I am happy for Angel Reese for achieving her lifelong dream of landing the cover of Vogue magazine and being viewed as a fashion icon, I thought the celebration from the media was a bit strange. Some might even call it hypocritical.
So how did the WNBA respond to Caitlin Clark being named Times Athlete of the Year? Brace yourself. You're going to love this. Instead of rolling out the red carpet or even sending a simple congratulatory tweet, they chose to ghost her. That's right, crickets. It's as if they've stepped into an alternate reality where Clark's groundbreaking success doesn't even exist. But here's the kicker. While the WNBA pretends Clark isn't single-handedly elevating the league, the rest of the sports world has taken notice. Clark isn't just being compared to her peers in women's basketball anymore. She's being mentioned alongside the biggest names in all of sports. That's a monumental achievement, folks. Yet the WNBA seems stubbornly determined to treat her as an afterthought. It's baffling.
Angel Reese was celebrated for landing the cover of some magazine that no one reads anymore, while Caitlin Clark, she was vilified.
You'd expect the league to celebrate a superstar like Caitlin Clark, who consistently fills arenas with sold-out crowds. In stark contrast, most WNBA games struggle to attract fans. Instead of harnessing her immense star power, the league seems to view her success as something to downplay rather than a victory to amplify.
This is how Caitlin Clark was treated by jealous players who directly benefit from her star power. It's also how she was treated by those in the media who also benefit from the drawing power of Caitlin Clark.
What's really happening here? It feels like the WNBA is afraid of success, especially when it's Caitlin Clark leading the charge. She's breaking records and drawing massive crowds, yet the league seems determined to ignore it. It's a baffling case of self-sabotage.
Caitlin Clark was pressured by the media to share her honor with unknown and undeserving WNBA players who contributed absolutely nothing to the elevation of the league last season.
Here's the twist. While the WNBA continues to fumble, other players are stepping up to give Caitlin Clark the respect she deserves. Enter JuJu Watkins, the 19-year-old phenom who's wise beyond her years. Watkins openly praised Clark's influence, showing more maturity than the entire league combined. Imagine that, a teenager recognizing greatness while the WNBA refuses to.
I've been saying this for a while now. This is one of the main problems with the WNBA. They want to pick and choose which players are celebrated. They want to tell you who you should support.
Caitlin Clark isn't just a star, she's a movement. She's transcending her sport, competing with the biggest names in athletics. Yet, instead of celebrating her, the WNBA treats her rise like something to fear. Meanwhile, Watkins is out here dropping truth bombs, sparking conversations that everyone's buzzing about.
After reading her recent interview with Fox News, JuJu Watkins, she has earned some of my respect. After reading this interview with Fox News, it became abundantly clear that JuJu Watkins, she gets it.
So what's the WNBA's endgame here? Are they really hoping Caitlin Clark's influence will just fade? Spoiler alert, that's not happening. She's bringing unprecedented attention to women's basketball, and the league's response? Radio silence. Meanwhile, players like Watkins are showing that the next generation truly gets it. They see the bigger picture.
Fox asked her about the influx of attention that Caitlin Clark brought to women's basketball. Here is what JuJu Watkins said. So many new fans in the sport can sometimes be a headache. Not everyone knows what they're talking about, but it's great for the sport. The fact that people are watching is enough in itself. We would like it to be positive, but it's not always going to be like that. As long as we continue to raise the numbers and viewership goes up, I think that's all we can ask for.
JuJu Watkins isn't just dominating on the court. She's showing the WNBA how to embrace success. At just 19, she's doing what the league should have done long ago, giving Caitlin Clark the recognition she deserves and proving that women's basketball belongs on the global stage. It's almost poetic. While the WNBA fumbles, the youngest voices are stepping up to lead.
During the interview, JuJu Watkins was asked about negative fans, or as Angel Reese would call them, the haters. This would be the point of the interview where Angel Reese would clap back at the haters. What does JuJu Watkins do? She basically tells Fox News that she obviously wants fans to like her, but if they end up being against her, that's okay too, because at least they're watching.
While some veteran players gripe about how new fans engage with the game, JuJu Watkins is rewriting the narrative. She's not just tolerating the influx of attention, she's embracing it wholeheartedly. A player who sees value in every fan, even the critical ones, Watkins welcomes all comers, knowing that every pair of eyes on the game matters. In a league where some players seem stuck in the past, she's proving she's operating on a completely different level, fully understanding the power of visibility and growth for the sport.
Notice the clear difference in her mentality compared to the jealous players in the WNBA.
Why is this mindset so revolutionary? Because JuJu Watkins understands something many in the WNBA haven't yet grasped. All attention, whether positive or negative, fuels the growth of women's basketball. Every tweet, every social media debate, every skeptical viewer tuning in contributes to the sport's rising profile. Watkins isn't threatened by criticism, she sees it as proof that people care enough to engage. While others in the league are gatekeeping, she's building bridges.
I said earlier, this young lady gets it. She understands the business of entertainment. Sometimes the people that hate you are the best fans. Why? Because they're the most passionate. They're the ones watching every game.
Watkins isn't just talking the talk, she's walking the walk. At just 19, she's showing a level of maturity that even seasoned veterans could learn from. Watkins gets it. The future of women's basketball depends on welcoming all fans, not just those who blindly cheer. She understands that even criticism is a sign of passion, and passion is what will fuel the sport's growth. It's a perspective that's as rare as it is refreshing.
Before Caitlin Clark, there was no such thing as crowds in the WNBA, unless you were talking about the rats in the rafters. For the past 3 decades, if you were one of the dozens of people who watched the WNBA on ESPN, you could hear the janitor sweeping the bleachers. That's how quiet it was in these high school gyms.
What's even more remarkable is how Watkins has outpaced more experienced players in understanding fan engagement. While some veterans waste time lecturing fans on respect, Watkins is saying, "Bring it on." She knows every conversation, good or bad, generates buzz, and buzz attracts more fans. Watkins isn't just a player. She's a strategist who understands that the way forward lies in inclusion, not exclusion.
This is how Caitlin Clark was treated by her colleagues and their pretend friends in the mainstream media. Watch it for yourself.
And I'm of the belief that she is now one of the top 15 players available. Even if Taurasi or whoever would not be there would be a couple of people like Enrique who you could put above Caitlin Clark. The problem here is, and what concerns me going forward, is those people on the fringe that do exist, that are in real life, not just internet trolls, politicians, pundits, and people of the like who are using Caitlin Clark as an avatar to lash out at the people who they have disdain for, mainly the makeup of the WNBA, black women et al.
Who are these girls? Who are these girls that are hating on Caitlin Clark? Are you just combing through Twitter? What else are these women supposed to do? We are not every single game gonna revisit and retread this same tired ass rhetoric that all these girls are hating on her, and they need to be thankful.
You have to build a WNBA team. Who are you taking first?
Second Paige. Next question.
So if you had the #1 pick this year, you would take Paige over Caitlin?
Absolutely.
Meanwhile, the WNBA itself seems to be fumbling the opportunity of a lifetime. With stars like Caitlin Clark and JuJu Watkins bringing unprecedented energy and excitement to the league, you'd think the organization would be rolling out the red carpet. Instead, they're clinging to outdated strategies, failing to adapt to a rapidly changing landscape. While Clark's games are selling out arenas across the country, many WNBA games can't even fill half the seats. It's an opportunity missed, highlighting the league's inability to recognize and harness the power of its stars.
Anyway, I showed that final clip of Donna Taurasi because I want you to see the difference in mentality. I believe Donna is my age. She's in her late 30s. Hell, Donna might be 40 years old at this point. JuJu Watkins is 19 years old.
Here's the proof. Women's basketball viewership has surged by 155%, and WNBA attendance has increased nearly 50% from the previous year. These are massive gains, but the league seems hesitant to seize them. Rather than amplifying the voices of game changers like Clark and Watkins, the WNBA clings to outdated narratives that don't resonate with today's audience. It's as though they're ignoring the players fueling this growth.
Donna Taurasi is old enough to be JuJu Watkins' mother, and yet somehow a teenager is showing more appreciation for the elevation of women's basketball than someone who has spent their entire career playing in front of empty arenas.
The truth is, the WNBA doesn't have time to play it safe. They either embrace the new wave of talent represented by Clark and Watkins, or risk fading into irrelevance. These two aren't just extraordinary athletes, they're cultural forces, the kind of players who can carry women's basketball into uncharted territory. Their ability to captivate audiences both on and off the court is exactly what the league needs to secure its future.
Media can claim all they want that WNBA players support Caitlin Clark. They don't. The media can claim all they want WNBA players are not jealous of Caitlin Clark. They are. If you're a fan of the WNBA, you should hope that players adopt the mentality of JuJu Watkins, because there's only so many times that you can tell a fan base that they're racist. There's only so many times you can tell a fan base they're misogynist. There's only so many times you can give people reasons not to watch your product. Eventually, they will listen.
This isn't just about survival, it's about transformation. Clark and Watkins represent a bold new era for women's basketball, one defined by excellence, excitement, and innovation. Meanwhile, the WNBA's old guard seems determined to hold the sport back, clinging to traditions that no longer resonate with its audience. It's as if they're blocking the stars ready to take the sport to new heights.
Your thoughts on this? JuJu Watkins shows a maturity and an understanding that we didn't see in the WNBA last season. Veteran players should be taking notes. That's how you handle the media. That's how you handle your cash cow. You don't deplete the milk, you give the cow vitamins for...
If the WNBA wants to maintain its upward trajectory, it needs to act now. Fans have made it clear that they're hungry for a league that embraces change, celebrates its stars, and prioritizes growth. Watkins and Clark are showing exactly what the future can look like, but the league needs to meet them halfway. It's time to let go of the past and embrace the possibilities of the future. So, what's next for women's basketball? The potential is enormous, but the WNBA must stop sabotaging its own progress. Players like Watkins and Clark are ready to lead the charge, but the league has to be willing to follow. The time for hesitation is over. Fans are here, the momentum is real, and the future is bright. It's time for the WNBA to recognize the stars who are lighting the path forward and fully commit to the exciting new chapter they represent. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed, leave a like and subscribe. More videos are on screen now.